Hello everyone, this is BeatNoLogic and I hope you can hear me okay. Uh, as I said, I was gonna make kind of like a music video with all my music, and I had quite an epiphany. Because the tape deck I'm using, which is a double decker, has issues. Uh, it's fine when I play the original tapes, it plays fine. But when I tried to record them onto another tape, and I had a brand new tape, a sealed tape, I had 4 to begin with, 90-minute tapes, and I cracked one open to do this. And as soon as I started recording, it didn't seem, and it depends on the song too, because if the song can make its mark in its own, then it's not an issue. But with some tracks who are more low key, you immediately hear that there's something going on. So what I'm having to do right now is to play the original tapes and to rewind and all of that bullshit. So unfortunately, I can't do it the way I want, but I will do it. So I'm gonna pause in between and get everything up to speed and all of that. But it's a setback for sure. It's because I've been using this tape player to play music and it's fine. But in terms of recording, it's shit. Because whatever setting I use, whether high-speed dubbing or normal dubbing, and at one point I even had the mic on, I wasn't aware of that, but I'm gonna check before I actually get into the music itself. I'm gonna check and see if there's any one of those that I can play and how they sound like, because like I said, one of them was so bad, as soon as I heard the recording, I knew that was, there was some kind of by sound, and especially on the first song I ever made, the difference was noticeable immediately. So like I said, I'm gonna have to do it backwards again. That's the story of my life, apparently, having to do things the backwards way. But yeah, I'll try to line them up for you, and there's not so many of them, thankfully, but it's gonna be a roundabout way of trying to do something, which should be pretty straightforward, because I thought since this cassette player was playing just fine, that it would record just fine, but that's not the case. So what I'll have to do is turn it into this school where they have electronics and ask them if they know what's causing the problem and if they can fix it. But yeah, because I would really like to have all my songs on one tape in order chronologically, and the rest of the stuff too, my improvisations, my experiments, whatever, so I can access them easily, just like that. But this is just gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be one step at a time throughout the video, so the video is gonna become more staccato, so bear with me on that. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm sorry to say that I couldn't put them all in one place and then make the video, because that would make life a lot more easier for me, because as I discovered, this has even high-speed dubbing, so it would halve the time it takes to dub a song. But when there's a noise coming in, some kind of interference, I don't know what's causing it. It could be the digital tuner, it could be some problem with ground, it could be, I have some background in electricity as well, but this one I would have to leave to the professionals, because if it can't record without that noise or static or hum or whatever you want to call it, because like I said, it's different from every time depending on the setting. But yeah, I'm gonna pause the video and then I'm gonna start playing the tracks, but I have to, like I said, that's why I have to pause now. So it's gonna be like little jumps here and there, and it's gonna be noticeable in the video, but at least the sound's gonna be okay as it can be. But yeah, this was a major setback, because even for my own personal reasons, I wanted the songs to be together on one tape. And I know, like I said, I had 4 original 90-minute tapes. They're all fine. And so I know it's not the tape, it's the bleeping cassette player that's messing with me. And now I know why it was out there in the hall with the other one. And the other one was a single deck, so that was one of the reasons, but it didn't look as nice. This is a Philips, so and it looked nice, and I tested it, and I thought, oh, it works. Why did they put it here? But now I know why. There's some problem with it. So yeah, let me pause and get everything ready for you guys for track number 1, and then when that's done, I have to go to track number 2, and it's gonna be, like I said, a backwards way of doing it, but at least the sound will be as good as possible, and that's my objective from doing this. So thank you for being patient on this, and thank you for understanding, and I'm sorry the way it is, but it is what it is. So without further ado, let me pause and get ready for the first track. You already heard this one. This is Angel in Black that I did at 16 years old. Yeah, that was it. You already heard this, some of you. But yeah, let me pause again and get ready for track number 2. And I'll talk to that more before I start it. But just now I gotta pause for a second. Okay, we're ready for track number 2, which is called, like I said, I call it number 2. I'm not sure if it was number 2 or number 4, but I always know what's number 3, because I put number 3 in the name, because I don't have any name for it, number 3. And I don't want to give you the name, because that's personal. It would give you some information about me, and I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but just now it was making noise. I'm telling you, this cassette player is possessed. It's like speaking in noises and stuff. But yeah, what I'm saying is that I wanted to talk a little bit about this track before I play it for you, because it's called The Runner. It's based on another song that was part of the Eurovision Song Contest. In terms of the idea for it, if you will, because this one actually has some lyrics to it. I'm not singing on it, but you know, there were supposed to be lyrics for it. So it's the only track I have that's supposed to be a song with lyrics, singing on it, you know. But I wanted to talk about a couple of other things about this track. Yes, it's a first recording only, and it's the only recording I have of it. So there's lots of mistake in this one. There's once I'm off key. There's a place where I repeat it for 3 times instead of 2 times, and stuff like this. But it's a very nice track, all the same. You know, it's not perfect by any means, but it gives you a good idea what my idea was for the track. And I also want to give you a small sample of what the lyrics would be like for that track, so you would get, you know. And I can't sing for shit anymore. I used to be quite decent at singing, but I can't sing like I used to, but that's another story. But I want to give you a small sample of what the lyrics are like, and I'm gonna try my best. But also for that one, please, I don't need any bad comments on it. I know I can't sing for shit anymore, so don't even mention it. I know, and I've stated this openly already, so please leave that alone if you don't mind. And yeah, and I'm gonna transpose a little bit what's it's called in music, because, you know, I don't know what key the track is in or anything, because I don't know notes like that. I just know how to make music on my keyboard, basically. So, but I wish there was a better recording out there, because, you know, I've realized also when I was playing it back, I realized it could be a little bit faster in terms of the beat. So, but it is what it is, because like I said, it's the only recording I have of it, and I was surprised by finding it, even because I had forgotten about this one. And so it was a surprise to me, and a pleasant one at that. But yeah, I realized, oh, it should have been a little bit faster, then it would have sounded better. But it sounds okay anyway. But some songs, when you play them too slow, basically what happens then when you play them back later, like with this now years later, you realize, if I went faster on this one, it would have made a better song. And so, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. But yeah, so that's something I realized. But like I said, it's full of mistakes. So please be kind, you know, full of mistakes. But that's because it's like a first recording. I'm not saying that's the first time I recorded it. I don't know. But that's the only recording I have left, the only one I've been able to find. So maybe I'll go back at some point and do it better. But the shame is now about the situation I'm in. I can't use this cassette deck to copy right now. So I need to get it fixed or get something other that I can record on, and it doesn't change the quality of the content. Because like I said, I had a brand new tape and it didn't help one bit. Brand new tape, sealed in the plastic, and I cracked it open and recorded, and then I realized on the playback, wow, that's really bad. And so I'll rather play the tapes like this, and you will see the difference if you had the original compared to the recording. You will see, oh wow, that's really. And it's like the first one I ever made, the Angel in Black, that one was actually, you know, it was so noticeable, because that one even sounded like muffled because of that hum that was there. So, but anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna play track 2, which is called The Runner, which is based in idea of the one that was in the Eurovision Song Contest. And if you're listening to the background, my cassette player is now just standing on pause, ready to play, but it's making all kinds of crazy noises. So as soon as I start playing the tape, that's gonna go away and you hear the sound from the music. But yeah, it doesn't work properly. So, but it's based, I don't remember what the group or artist was called that was in the Eurovision Song Contest, but when I made this track and I made the lyrics, I was like, that's like an homage to that in a way. So, but it's very different in terms of the melody and the style of it. Is completely different music, but it's still in the 80s era, if you will. My music, you will see, is very much influenced by the 80s and synth music, because, you know, that's how it is when you're a keyboard player. So, But anyway, I've said enough now. Let me pause for a second and unpause. Hopefully it doesn't start immediately, but I'll correct that if that's the case. Yeah, that was the runner, and I didn't want to ruin the recording by singing along for it, but like I said, uh, keep in mind the song you just heard, and like I said, I'll probably transpose a bit, but I just want to give you a sample of what the lyrics was gonna be, and forgive me if it's crap, okay? But that's the main theme of the idea, if you will. That's the part that I have lyrics for, because I never sat down and like wrote the lyrics all out. But yeah, and it goes something like this. I am called a runner, running in the night, running for the lovers, running for the light. I am always running, running in the night, always in a hurry, but I give you my body tonight. And there you go. That was the idea behind it. So, yeah, if you want to hear, you know, not me sing again, but if you want the actual words, what I just sang, hit me up or write a comment below and I'll write it there for you. So, yeah, I just wanted you to know that there was supposed to be lyrics for that one. And I kind of like it, but like I said, it's a really crappy recording in terms of my my performance and my mistakes and the speed and everything. There's so much left to be desired on that one. Sorry, I have a bit of a heartburn right now, strangely enough, since I have eaten already. But yeah, um, what I'm saying is that there's a lot left to be desired on that one. So maybe if I can get it somehow. But like I said, I don't have the old stereo that I used to record on, because that one was so good for recording. There was no issues. I connected with a Y cable. There was no interference. I went straight into the amplifier. No, nothing. You know what I mean? It had a built-in amplifier, but still it was working the way it's supposed to be when you want to do, you know, it's cassette, so it's never going to be CD quality, but it was very good for recording. And now, since I have a different turntable for my vinyl, I haven't even tried that turntable, the new one, because it's very basic, but I'm thinking it's okay for, it's a cheap Chinese one, but it's probably good for just playing the records. But yeah, my old stereo had actual capabilities because it had a double deck, and I could plug right into from the keyboard with a Y cable and go straight into the amplifier, and not the amplifier, but the auxiliary or whatever it's called. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong here, but you know what I mean. I could plug directly into my stereo system and record, so it wasn't an issue. I said amplifier, but it's actually the auxiliary entrance. So yeah, and I don't have that anymore because my stereo deteriorated more and more over time, and I had it since like 91, since about the time when I made my first song. So no wonder, but it was a Panasonic one and I paid like 5 grand for it, so it held out for a long time, so I'm glad for that. It was a Panasonic slash Technics. Some of the parts were Technics, some of the parts were Panasonic, so I even ditched the speakers, which I'm really sad about because those were good speakers. But yeah, it is what it is, and that's what I've been saving my money for. I'm actually buying a new stereo system, but I know these new ones probably don't have the same capabilities, and I know they don't have tape decks. So, but yeah, even my keyboard, you could record on a floppy disk. The more modern ones, but not the big ones, but the small ones. But even that part broke down or was broken from the beginning, so you could record on them, but they would just go bad over time. I don't know if it was dirt inside or what was causing it, but I bought that keyboard used, so. But yeah, that was Runner, or The Runner, to be correct. Okay enough, but if you look aside from the actual performance and everything and the things I already mentioned. So, but I'm gonna pause again and get ready for track number 3, which I always, now that I've talked to you guys, I always refer to that track because it has no name, really. I just gave it some kind of name and then the number 3 because I knew it was number 3. and I always call it my new age track because it's kind of new age in style, you know. I mean, a lot of it probably to most people who don't know the difference, it's all the same. But yeah, my music falls into the synth category, you know, the new age category, the, for lack of a better term, because I'm not talking to the actual genre of easy listening, but it somehow is easy listening, you know, like it's easy on the ear. So, but yeah, I'll pause again and get ready for track number 3, which is just track number 3. It has no name, so bear with me, and I'll be playing that one shortly. Yeah, I'm just about ready to push that button, but yeah, I wanted to mention a little bit about this one too before I hit the play button, you know. Like I said, I always call it my new age track because it's probably the one that's most in that camp, if you will. So, but yeah, this one is special in a way because this was the first time I actually used several tracks within the sequencer to create something like the Indian drum, the so-called tabla, and I even created a bass line on, you know, like the bass, like a bass guitar. And I don't know shit about bass, but I did my best, you know. But yeah, it was pretty basic to say the least, my bass line. And then you'll also notice that in a specific place, the setting on the keyboard gets stuck in a way. Because that's how it works with the particular sound and setting that I had put there to create the effect that I wanted. But as soon as I changed the key, it went away. So, but also when it comes to ambient, with this is the actual technical name for it. It's not new age music. Some people call it new age music, but the technical term for it is ambient. And one of the key things about ambient music is that they have this bass note lying in the background, following the track all the way, and it changes only when the key is changing, but it's not moving in any way, it's just floating along the track. And so it's you know, it's ever present, and it's supposed to put you in that almost hypnotic state. So that's why it's ambient music. Some people call it chill out music, you know. But I would say all my music is pretty much chill. So, but yeah, I guess that's what I had to say about this track. And enjoy, guys. Yeah, that was it. My third track. Like I said, I don't know if number 2 is number 4 or whatever, but this is definitely number 3. So another thing I wanted to mention about that, yes, it even has wind chimes on it. So, you know, there's a reason why I call it my new age track, because it has everything. It has the Indian drums, it has the wind chimes, it has, you know, the lingering background note floating along, and of course my crappy bass guitar thing, you know, and then the main melody. So, you know, yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I'm gonna get ready for the next one, and this is gonna change things up a bit, because there is one more track other than this one that I'm getting to right now, but here's the difference. And I don't know if I'm able to fit it together, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch those two together if that's possible, or I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know how this is gonna work out, because if I'm reading this right on my screen right now, I only have like a couple of minutes left, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, this is not gonna be the last track, but it should be, because it's my most recent one. So I was hoping maybe there's